Welcome to another episode of Sorry Not Sorry. Sorry that it's been so long. Sorry, not sorry because I really had other things going on. For today, we're gonna do something fun because I'm a nerd and I'm not sorry about it. For I came across the realization that I am a huge nerd and I don't care about it, but sure, we'll go with it. And I referred to a friend of mine who I took a trip with as a D&D class. Like I was just trying to figure it out. D&D, if you don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, board game, you role play, just go with it. Because that's what I do. Just go with it. And I was trying to figure out what her class was, and we found it out. And then it got me thinking about the basics of each class of D&D and just how to think of people as that class or what class would best suit them and all that sort of stuff. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over a quick rundown of classes from the 3.5 edition of the Player's Handbook because like I said, I'm a nerd. I have this. Just shut up and go with it. And then I'm gonna do like a few different, things, examples of people that I would think would be in a class. And we'll go with people that actually are well known. So, yes, I have notes. Shut up. So, we'll start in alphabetical order because why not? The Barbarian is sort of like a nomadic fighter, but he's got built-up rage, and he just like slaughters people because it's fun. Due to this, he cannot be lawful in any way, shape, or form. He cannot be lawful. And the common races he is a human, half-orc, and sometimes a dwarf. Sometimes. The Bard. He has the magic in his soul! And since it's in his soul, he doesn't have to do any prep work. So it's a real good starter for non-magic users to learn some magic. Again, like the Barbarian, he is not lawful. And some good races to play with him are human, gnome, elf, and half-elf. The Cleric. He is divine magic. Magic of the gods. He can really be any, what is this word I'm looking for? He can be any, shit. He can be either lawful or chaotic. He can be any really thing he wants to be, as long as it is within the god that he worships. And he can also be any race because every race needs a religion. A druid. He is the magic of nature. So, a lot of no armor, no metal, doesn't like that stuff. Nature, bro. A druid is neutral, so on the tree he can be the plus. So he can't be lawfully good or chaotic evil. He has to be a form of neutral. Common races: elf, gnome, human, half-elves, kind of half-elves and humans. The fighter, my class. He's the best all-around in fighting capabilities. He can wreck your shit. And also he could be any type of personality, any alignment. But the best races to do a fighter in is human, dwarf, elf, and half-orc. The monk, he takes quests as a personal test, and he is what we call a chi fighter. So, the magic of the soul formed through chi. And similar to the druid, he is unarmed and unarmored. Because personal test, bro. And he has to be lawful in his alignment. He has to be lawful. And the best ones to do it with are versions of human. So human, and then you half-orc and your half-elf. And those are the common races of a monk. Paladin. So this is divine power to protect. A lot of healers are the paladins. And they have to be lawfully good. Because they're boring. Then you have your ranger, who is your protector, your woodsman, in other words. Gets you through the stuff. Really good in the wild. And they can be any alignment as well. They're commonly good over evil, commonly chaotic over lawful. But it varies. Because you can have tricksters, you can have that sort of thing as a ranger. They're just not as common. The rogue. The rogue is, what do you think it sounds like? It's the common rogue. It's the assassin. It's the dishonored characters. It's the sly, hiding in the shadows kind of character. They are commonly more chaotic than lawful, just because they steal shit, and they hide shit, and they deceive. So it's really hard to be lawfully a rogue, because rogue by nature is not lawful. And some of the best ones that I've seen done are halflings, but you can also be human, elf, and half-elf doing it well. The sorcerer, this one is just pure magic. No book magic like the divines or paladins, but just your raw magic ability. The better of yourself, your magical soul sort of thing. And they are commonly more chaotic than lawful. And some of the best sorcerers are humans and half-elves. And rounding it off, you have your wizards. And they are magic through study, compared to your sorcerer who is magic through tests. So wizards will study. That's your Gandalfs. That's your actual wizards. And they are commonly lawful over chaotic. However, illusion wizards are more chaotic. And wizards are normally humans, elves, and gnomes. So, some fun things to think about is, like I said, like thinking of your friends as different versions of these characters. Like, I work in theater, and a lot of my friends could classify as the bard. However, not a lot of them do. Some of them do, yes, but some of them do different abilities. Some show me different ways. Like, the bard is unlawful. Like, can't be lawful. So that rules out a lot of people that respect the laws and do everything to the law's letter. So, any rebellious teen that's doing theater, you could classify as a bard. However, if you're the straight A student, never been in the back of a cop car, you can't really classify as a bard. Well, I guess you could, but you can't be lawful. So some of the people that I think. So, we'll go through this. I already gave an example of a rogue, and I already gave examples of rogue, but we'll do different versions. Like, okay, I'm a huge DC guy. Batman. What do you think Batman is? He's a monk rogue. Because chief fighter, hand-to-hand combat, doesn't use really weapons other than gadgets. He prefers his fists. And he is stealth as the rogue. And so he most likely started as a monk and then switched and then got a rogue side class. Because think of Batman. He went to study all of the training for being a monk, and then when he got back to Gotham, he realized, oh, it's a whole lot easier to intimidate as this shadowy figure that no one actually sees, picking up the rogue traits. See? Already slurred my words. But let's go through this. Let's think about... Here, we'll think about the three biggies. We'll do Wonder Woman next. Wonder Woman, okay. So Wonder Woman is powered by the divines. Hera help me. Talking to the Greek gods. So that automatically lends you to one of the magic users, especially the cleric, who is the god, the divine magic user. So that leads you to cleric, that leads you to the paladin, but you can't do paladin because that's lawfully good. And Wonder Woman is not lawfully good. Okay. She is good, yes. However, lawfully good means you won't kill anybody. Wonder Woman will kill a bitch. So that leads you more to the cleric. And when you think about it, what are the Greek gods? They are more, depending upon story, they can be anywhere. Zeus is probably close to true neutral as you could get, all about the self. Well, not true neutral, but chaotic neutral, I guess. So, Wonder Woman is good, but I think more either chaotic or true neutral good. So, that could easily fit into a cleric. And the big blue Boy Scout. The big blue Boy Scout. Well, he didn't study, so we throw out the wizard. We'll throw out the sorcerer, because they're more chaotic than lawful. We'll throw out the druid, because that's nature magic. Honestly, he's kind of a cleric, looking at it again, even though that he is his own god. But that leaves the cleric. But here's a fun thing. What is Superman? He is lawfully good. Obeys the law. Except those few times when he breaks continuity and kills people. Like, if you ever saw Injustice, Gods Among Us, played that game, when he goes crazy, that was a different universe, not real Superman. So, if you ask my opinion of what Superman's class is, he's a paladin, in my opinion. Divine power to protect, healing. Doesn't really have those healing abilities other than on himself. And he's a lawfully good character. So, that's where I'd put him. Some other ones off the top of my head. The Hulk is an obvious barbarian. Just because of his huge rage attacks, his nomadic lifestyle as a fighter, and that he is chaotic neutral, which would fit the barbarian perfectly. Let's see. Go through some of the Avengers. Black Widow is definitely a rogue, just because of how many disguises she can put on and such. Iron Man. Where would Iron Man be? I would think Iron Man would be a sorcerer, even though that you think about it, and even in the Robert Downey Jr. movies, he did go to school, but I think that was more of a formality that he went to school. I think Iron Man is a sorcerer in his own abilities, because he doesn't study unless he, like, actually cares. So I don't think he's a wizard. But just in his own abilities, he just goes. So I think he's more of a sorcerer. And then you have Thor, who is I think is another cleric, just because of how he could do whatever he wants, because he's his own god. And that sort of thing. Who does that leave? Hawkeye and we'll do Hawkeye first. So think of it this way. Hawkeye is a ranger because of the bow and arrow, his attention to detail, which ranger is really good at. Being able to see far distances, his look, and listen and spot are just outstanding. So I think he's more of a ranger. And that leaves Captain America. So, where would Captain America fall? You could say Captain America is another monk. Yeah, that's where I'd put him. I'd put him as a monk. Just because he is lawfully good. And just how his fighting style is. He's very hand-to-hand, doesn't like to use guns, but uses them when needed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Monk. But this has been an episode of Sorry Not Sorry featuring Dungeons & Dragons classes. I hope that you're sorry that this video kind of stunk, but I don't care. But I'm not sorry for you clicking to watch this.